Hey guys, what's up? It's Hallie. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be sharing my 19 and pregnant story with you. I don't want this intro to be too long, but I just have a couple of points that I'm going to touch on, and yeah, I hope this maybe helps someone or gives you guys some more information about me. So I'm first going to start out with how I found out that I was pregnant. So for me, it's not hard or it's not uncommon for me to be late on a period or to miss a period if I'm really stressed. And so when I first kind of considered the fact that I could be pregnant, I figured I was just stressed because I had finals week and then I had dance team nationals. So it was a pretty stressful time. So I talked to Chris about it, and he said that if I don't get my period by the time nationals is over, I'll take a pregnancy test and we'll go from there, whatever happens. So I didn't get my period, obviously. I didn't get my period after nationals, and me and Chris were leaving for a trip to Dominican Republic that night, the night that we got home. So we got back from nationals probably around 9:30 maybe. I quickly packed. We went to Meyer, picked up a test, and then we went to our school because Chris lived on campus, and we figured we would take a nap there before going to the airport because it was a lot closer. And so when we got to the school, everybody had already left for spring break, so there was like nobody on campus. So I took the test, and before I could even like set it down to wait like the 3 minutes, I could already see the second line popping up, and my heart like sunk. I was just so in shock. I didn't know what to think, so I put it down, I just didn't look at it. I walked back in the room and I told Chris, I said, I think I'm pregnant. And he just looked at me and he was like, that's okay, like, we'll be okay. And I walked back in the bathroom, looked at the test, and yep, for sure there was the 2 lines. I took it back in the room and I showed him, and I just started bawling. I didn't know what to think. I thought of how disappointed my parents were going to be, that they're going to kill me, and I thought about my church. I thought about like everything that I basically was like, what did I do? Luckily I did have Chris with me to calm me down, and he just, as I was crying, he just held me and he was just like, everything will be okay, we'll figure it out, we'll be okay. So that's how I found out. Now I'm gonna tell you how I told my parents, which I was terrified to tell my parents, but I knew it was better for me to tell them earlier rather than later. I didn't want to wait. So I told my mom the day after we got back from Dominican Republic. When we got back on like Sunday night. I know it was pretty late and I had class the next morning, so I know it was like, I think it had to be past midnight. I don't know. It was really late, so I just went home, went to bed, woke up in the morning, went to the gym, and then went to class. As soon as class was over, I called my mom, and I was like, hey, can I meet you for lunch? And she was like, yes, or you can just come to my office if you want to talk. My mom's a counselor, so for me, getting her in her office was the perfect spot to tell her, because she was in like counselor mode, and she like, for me that was a really good spot to tell her. So I went to her office, I went in there, and we were kind of talking for a little bit, and then I was like, Mom, I need to tell you something. And I was like, I'm pregnant. And her reaction was not how I thought it was going to be. I mean, I knew, pretty much like she was going to be disappointed, and that's what she told me. She told me she was really disappointed, but she said, we're going to love this baby, and my love for you doesn't change. So basically, my mom was more concerned. She was like, where do we go from here? I didn't know. I just sat in her office and I cried, and she knew that I was scared. Like, I was punishing myself enough. So I think that she knew that punishing me wasn't going to help at all. Now, when I told my dad differently because I didn't know how to tell him. I told him, I think on that Wednesday night, I told him. So what we did to tell him is we put like a pair of baby shoes in a bag, wrapped it, and then gave it to him because I was afraid that he was gonna blow up at me. I was afraid that he was gonna get mad, and I was afraid that he was gonna kill Chris pretty much. And all he did was he opened it and he took out the shoes and he goes, "Congratulations?" like with a question mark. And that was not the reaction I expected from my dad at all, but I think he also knew that I was scared and that I didn't really know where to go from here, and I didn't know what to do, and I just wanted my parents' help. He wasn't concerned about me being pregnant. He was concerned about, again, what does this have to do with the future? They were both more worried about where do we go from here versus I'm pregnant now. And they both just told me that they're gonna love the baby and their love for me doesn't change, and that really helped me. One question I did get asked for this video was, did I get married or did I get engaged because I got pregnant? And the answer is, we had gotten engaged on February 15th this year, and found out I was pregnant about a month later. So we had gotten engaged before we had found out we were pregnant. So us getting engaged had nothing to do with the fact that I was pregnant, but us getting married did. We were gonna get married next year in August, I think we were planning, but because I did get pregnant, we moved up the wedding date a year and a couple months to this past June. Oh, another question someone asked me was, how is it being pregnant and going to school? And this I thought was really interesting because a lot of people don't have experience in it. But I am going to school this semester. I am taking 2 8-week classes, and so far it's been pretty good. One of them's an advanced public speaking class, and that one's actually the class I feel more comfortable in because I have to get up and talk every week, so everybody has to know about my life, basically. School's not been bad. It's been a little bit harder. I've been a little bit more self-conscious about myself, but I think that just comes with the fact that I'm a minority in this situation, and it just makes me a little more self-conscious, but I'm working on it. And the more I go, the more that people like know and get used to it, the more I get more comfortable with it. And then I did want to touch base on a little bit on how my church reacted. And I love my church so much. The amount of support that I had from my church was insane, and I just know that they're true people of God, and they didn't judge me, but instead of like judging me, they wanted to help me. They wanted to help me get back on track, to get, I don't want to say like my life back together, but to get my relationship with the Lord back. Honestly, my church, I could never be more happier at the place that I'm at. So that's pretty much all I have for my 19 and pregnant story. I wouldn't change this experience for the world. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. I know it's a little different than my normal videos. Let me know what you'd like to see next, and maybe if this helped you at all in any way. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Subscribe, like, because it really supports my channel, and comment down below what you'd like to see next. Bye.
But it's all the same. I could have foreseen that you would act like you are.